But now, Daikon is dead. Government is here. How do I make this right?
It's hard to do that when you have serpents in your ears.
A civil war is brewing within the Rakadushi. A battle for the highest throne.
You want to take the highest place.
Someone has to keep this place together.
Now that Daikon is dead, anything is possible. Ruth, you cannot have this baby here.
Tonight, we come to you live from the Rakadushi compound.
This is not gonna be good.
When I first entered, there were children singing. But I couldn't help but feel like there was something evil.
Oh, so evil. It is time to enact my plan.
The unthinkable.
The unthinkable.
The evil government has grown in size outside our gates. But those wishing to follow the Raku have also grown in size outside our gates. All hail the highest!
This place is ready to erupt.
All hail the highest!
The gate's opening.
She's wearing a bomb.
All hail the highest! I am ready to fight! Are you ready to fight? All hail the highest! All hail the highest!
How did we get to this place? I love you.
In the words of VACAY-J, oh yeah, the Ruthless Roundtable is back, baby. What's good, everybody? It is your girl, Tika Deshawn, tapping in and tuning in, kicking it right here with you guys at All Things Ruthless, as well as I can't do the Roundtable by myself. I got to bring on the one and only, the innovator, the one creator, VACAY-JayTV. What's good, Jay?
What up? What up? What up? Can you hear me loud and clear?
We a little shaky, but I can hear you real good.
Okay, don't you? All right, we're gonna get through this now. We're gonna get through this. What's up? What's up, T? How you doing?
I'm good, Jay. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. Doing great. Ruthless Roundtable. Here we are.
Fabulous. That's what's up. Listen. At the end of the day, y'all, we're gonna take this thing one day at a time. We're gonna cover literally 3 episodes because it's been a while since the Ruthless Roundtable has come and given you guys some content, some special moments, some highlights of what is going on Tyler Perry's Ruthless. So what up, baby? Hey, baby. Shout out to Karima. Thank y'all for tapping in, as well as P. Brunson. What's good? So, Jay, we gonna dive on in, baby, because it was crazy. The last listen, y'all. I'm gonna just give y'all this disclaimer. If y'all hear a little child in the background, that's my grandbaby. She just won't go to sleep. That's all I'm saying. So we gonna get through this thing, though. We're gonna get through this, okay? But since it has been a moment, Jay, what thoughts do you have in regards to the latest 3 episodes of Tyler Perry's Ruthless?
All right. So, yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah. So, as far as the last 3 episodes, can you hear me?
No, you can't really hear you.
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Try it again, Jay. Okay, y'all. I think Jay has to go out and come back in. But the conversation is definitely going to continue. We're gonna talk 3 episodes of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, episode 13, episode 14, episode 12, 13, and 14. So y'all just hang on for the ride. Let's see if I can get Jay back in, okay?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me loud and clear? I don't know what's going on. Technical difficulty.
Yeah, it's a bit staticky, but I'll just I'll go slow with it. I will talk forever. So I'll give you time to talk it. That way maybe it'll come through a little bit clearer for you.
Okay. Yeah, so if you can hear me, guys, let me know. Drop it in the comments. But yeah, man, these last 3 episodes, crazy. I mean, Obadiah's on a rampage. First he's down with River, then he's trying to take out River, then he's trying to do all types of stuff. So I don't even know what to tell you, man. Like it's just a crazy ride. It's just a crazy ride. Your boy Andrew, he's back. He's snitching. He's telling the FBI what's going on, and then you got Ruth trying to keep up power. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, man, this is definitely a wild ride. Definitely a wild ride. What do you think about the last few episodes?
Listen, the last 3 episodes had me on the edge of my seat. Every last one of them. Everybody is trying to be in some shape, form, or fashion of power. I don't know what's going on, y'all, with the signal for Jay. He hopped out and then maybe he'll come back in. I'm sure he'll come back in, y'all. Hopefully we either way we gonna rock this. We gonna have this conversation. VACAY-J.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
This thing is wild today. I don't know what's going on with Restream, but it's tripping today. Yeah.
It's all good. You know how it go. You know how it go. That's life.
So what are the things that stood out to you?
Well, we're gonna get into it for sure. And this is why your girl like to bring slides to the playground. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into episode 12 because that beatdown River got from Obadiah, I was like, dang, let that man live. But I love the battle. River has literally stepped out into a a deep, thick ocean that he just can't get himself out of. And I don't know if that's River done dived into the river. That's all I can say. And he's literally hanging on for dear life. He literally he's not winning this competition at this point because indeed, for sure, y'all, it's definitely a whole competition. It's a whole competition. And so let's see. Maybe try moving around. Anyway, let's talk to the audience real quick before Jay comes back in. Shout out to everybody. Hey, P. Brunson. I said, hey, baby, and Karima. Hey, Daria. Hey, Demetria. Thank y'all for tapping in and tuning in. We absolutely appreciate it. Let's try Jay again.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, Jay. Okay, cool. So again, just like I said, that whole the beatdown that River received, he was calling, this is all from episode 12. He was screaming, hollering for help, and he had no help. Like, even though Glitch and he came up running up on him to see what was going on, they literally offered no help. All they could do was say, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I thought that moment was a bit hilarious because I'm like, River, you thought you had hired just some hitmen, but your hitman only came to do some questioning. They're literally only FBI agents in their minds coming just to question to see what's actually going on. So, I mean, I'm feeling the whole concept, this whole Rakadushi situation, Jay. Everybody is building an alliance. Ruth has an alliance as well as River. He kind of out there on his own. So, this is where we are when it comes to everybody. Everybody needs somebody at this point.
Yeah, like River again. He's trying to gain all the power. He's trying to work with Obadiah, but Obadiah got his own plan. That's the way I see it. Obadiah is like, listen, I'll tolerate you for now, but you trying to take me out. You trying to tell the highest to get me out of position. Nah, you better fix this thing. You better fix it fast.
That part. That part. I listen. He and see that the crazy thing about this, y'all, is that neither one they're playing, both of them are playing the game, but they Obadiah tends to forget that Ruth is literally, or I don't think he knows how much of a powerhouse Ruth really is, because in his mind, it's just sometimes it's him versus River, and then okay, we can be on the same page. But this game, the reason he brought this beat down was because Ruth basically got his job taken away, and not only did she get Obadiah's job taken away, she took away one of his allies. She took away a team of listen, she took away some of Obadiah's players. Like, so Ruth is playing the game way better than Obadiah, as well as River. Ruth is definitely playing the game, and they keep forgetting that Ruth is that chick. And River definitely should not have confided in Obadiah. That is for sure. We know that this man said, I don't know your mama name, I don't know your cousin name, I don't know no Lilo. What you think about his code switch, Jay? This is a question I've had. We've seen Obadiah speak so fine, so refined, and so polished. What you think about his code switch?
At the end of the day, he's still a ninja. At the end of the day, he could talk like he's from Yale. He could talk like he's from jail. At the end of the day, this man is the ghetto of the ghetto, okay? And when you running a whole house out of a hotel, okay, and your main chick is, Pearl, and you took in the highest, right? You took him in and you taught him the ways of the Raku, and now he's running the show and you playing like you underneath him, but you really kind of like his father. Yeah, it's he's wild with it. He's wild that he can switch up in so many different directions.
Right, for sure. Obadiah's like, I'm from the hood, like really, really, really from
I
the.
don't know you. I don't know your mama. I don't know your daddy. I don't know your cousin. He was like
I love
Mr. Ghetto himself. I'm like, okay, here you are. I was waiting for you to come out and
it.
just reveal yourself.
Yeah, he made me feel comfortable.
Okay, got you. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that was that moment where Obadiah, or of course the twins, Glitch and Heat recognizes Obadiah, and this is what reminds me that when Obadiah said that there was some bad people on the compound that want to get to the highest, and it's all about the money. That showed me that he knew who they were. He recognized, he knows that they're a part of this whole cartel. They know Lilo. And so again, Obadiah always says he's 3 steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah, Obadiah kind of like sees the playing field from a different view. Like he sees all the pieces moving around, and it's like River is not getting that. A lot of them are not getting that. This guy is really 10 steps ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, so here we go, where your girl Mariah decides that she's gonna stand outside the compound, go live live at 5, and let everybody know, listen, that I
Yeah.
went into the compound, the highest, the place in the beginning, it was all beautiful, this trailer park full of flowers, and the people were smiling in the beginning. But then we saw the moment where this one young lady unalived herself, basically set herself on fire. Like, she's just telling it all, and she's saying how the highest is creepy and evil.
Yeah.
And it tripped me out when she said we walked with the Rakadushi. What, y'all were there for like literally overnight, and y'all weren't really surrounded by anybody. But okay, I know she's trying to get her Pulitzer. Any particular thoughts on the actions, or the actions that Mariah decided to take, and the effect that it's having on the highest himself?
Yeah, she flipped it on everybody. She flipped it on the FBI because they flipped it on her and took all her footage, right? And then she flipped it on River because River, before he let them go, he was like, okay, what happened? And they're like, yeah, if it wasn't for the FBI, this lady wouldn't have burnt herself, right? So they blamed it all on the FBI. So she said, freak
Mhm.
that. I'm going back. James, get the camera. We're going to go in front of this campus. We're going to tell it like it is. We're going to tell the truth. And I don't care. I'm gonna get something out of this thing. So I was proud of her that she actually did that because I didn't know what she was gonna do after the FBI took all her footage and kind of like left
Right.
her to be like, whatever you want to do. You knew the price. You knew the price of doing this. We taking everything you got. So I was glad that she did that. But the person that's not glad is the highest man. He is pissed off, mad, like what? Evil? I'll show you evil. He starts flipping out, man. Oh man, that's not the message that he wanted to get out there. And she put that
Right.
message out there, like this. This is what it is. This is what it is.
Exactly. But she also has to tread lightly because she got to keep in mind they got her address. So she might want to
Right.
tread lightly in this whole, I get it. She's making a point, but all I can say, Mariah, tread lightly, baby, tread lightly, because if the Rocket
Hey,
have your Addy, you
we
already know
see
what's
some
going
cheeks.
down.
I see cheeks. Yes. Shout out to the
Oh
cheeks.
Jesus. And I'm gonna hurry up and move this out the way real quick. I promise I
When
did
I
not
did my
intend.
video, I had the same pic and I had to zoom in so the cheeks would not be in there.
You know what? I was supposed to. We're gonna go ahead and move that slide on out the way. At the end of the day, we find out that Ruth is having some complications. She's bleeding and then she's
Yeah.
cramping. She's going through a lot right now. And Zane is there, of course, to come with some more news. Ruth, I need you, girl. We need you. The
Yeah.
Obadiah is Obadiah. He's the children. He's treating them basically like little soldiers. They're not having fun. They're not playing anymore. They're just
Mm-hmm.
literally as if it's like they're training for basically for a war, and that's literally what Obadiah is doing to the children. Man, that's
Right.
crazy. But what were your thoughts when you saw the bleeding, which Ruth called an infection, in that moment?
I mean, of course, first thing I thought was the same thing Zane thought. It was like, yo, you had a miscarriage. I mean, what else could it be? Like, you pregnant, blood coming out when it's not supposed to come out. You gotta be miscarrying at this point. And she's like, nah, it's a UTI. I mean, in the UTI, it kind of makes sense too. But again, I'm not a woman. I wouldn't know if you're pregnant and you have a UTI, would you be bleeding? Only you could tell me that, or a mother could tell me that. But yeah, man, the first thought was, oh, she lost the baby. But she's like, nah. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said it. She knows her body, but at the end of the day, her a UTI I ain't never had no UTI that shed that much blood. So
Right.
I was like, nah, girl, you losing something right now. I don't want to be the
Yeah.
bearer of bad news, but it ain't looking good for that magic box as Obadiah calls it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we find out that the medicine for the highest is missing, and they decide we're gonna do a magic potion, an herbal potion using saffron, which is supposed to be used for depression. And this is what they're gonna give to the highest to kind of help them calm down because Ruth has had to go to him and be or Elder Mother had to go to Ruth and was like, honey, this man is out of control. What we gonna do? But
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard of saffron like being antidepressant. Okay, that's good to know. There's a lot of
right,
depressed people out there, so they don't need to go get, pills and nothing like that. They could just go get some saffron, man. At least it'll help.
definitely. And of course, you know me, I Googled it to see if it actually is the
It's
truth.
real,
And it is a home remedy that, they've used before. Now, of course, medical professionals are not going to tell us that. They're not going to
of
recommend that.
course.
But
That's right.
it is on that list of something natural that you can use
Oh
to,
yeah,
help with depression. So anybody dealing with depression, hey, it's worth a
go
try. You
ahead.
know what I mean? So
Get your saffron. Get your saffron on.
saffron. Get your saffron on. Oh man. So these two are sent by watching the shenanigans happen. Yes, y'all about to lose y'all job. We get a call from Chief Cannon. He
Mm-hmm.
probably on the other line cussing them out. What the heck is going on? Why the heck is she at the front of the freaking Rakadushi compound live at 5 on the news? What is going on?
Because you can't control her. You thought you could control her. You thought you could control her. Oh, we got the footage. She can't do nothing. Yeah, right. She's a reporter. She's gonna do what she needs to do. Look at your boy, man.
Exactly.
He was tearing up the place. He was wilding out. He was
Yep. Yep, the highest said, "I'll show you crazy. I'll show you evil." And shout out to
yeah.
those battery operated candles that now we know. Well, we kind of already knew, but when he swung on them and knocked them down, I was like, he about to set the compound. I mean, he about to set his trailer on fire. But
Battery operated. Yep. Smart, smart. I used to have some of
yeah.
those too. That's funny. When you say that, I used to have a few of those.
Hey, whatever
Yeah.
works. But then we're gonna see Ruth because Ruth has been summoned. She was summoned by Andrew to come check on her boy
What
because
up?
he in there wilding. But at the end of the day, just what Ruth said. Listen, this is you could have shut this whole thing down a long time ago since you're
Yeah, she got
FBI.
on him.
Yeah, she got on his case, and I was happy because I'm like, that's the truth. Like, tell him, like, you could have shut this whole thing down a long time ago. And he was like,
Yep.
listen, bump all that. What you need to do is go in there and talk to the highest, calm him down. If you gotta touch him, rub him, whatever you got to
Stroke
do,
him.
but go in
Do
there
whatever
and
you
do
need
what
to
you
do.
gotta do.
Ruth said, "I be stroking. That's what I be doing."
Listen, that was hilarious. She went in there and she did what she had to do. We're gonna get to that,
Yeah.
but this moment right here, yo boy George was crying. Like I was like, he's really, really, really emotional. This wasn't
I
the
mean,
moment where he did the fake cry.
when you get one of your scrotums chopped off, half of your manhood is gone. So of course you probably gonna cry. I mean, like come on. like we gotta like really recognize what's going on here. Your man got one scrotum, okay? And who knows what the other one is doing right now. So yeah, he like my manhood is gone. I ain't gonna be able to have no babies. My stroke is gonna be on the halfway. He ain't gonna be able to stroke it right. I mean, whatever the case is, your boy's not good. He's not good. I would not want to be in his situation, you know?
And I can't tell you what it feel like. So at the end of the day, I kind of am like, okay, I understand the sadness, for a moment, just for him, just for him,
Yeah.
I understand. But
Look,
in this
we
very
get
moment
hit.
though,
Look, when we get hit down there, it hurts. Like it's like you want to die. So think about getting it chopped off. Oh my God. Anybody will
right.
cry.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also in this moment though, they're having this whole conversation, and this is what, even though this whole thing, why they're in this punishment trailer, because they
Mhm.
moved too slow because of your boy Lewis, who decided that $300,000 was not enough money. He comes to the conclusion that, hey, we got to get out of here. We will get out of here. We got to, we still have to fight. Even though you're broken, as George was saying, he was broken. Lewis was telling him, look, we still got to fight. And to summarize it all, he told him, listen, you need to be my eyes and I'll basically be your legs. So, or you be my eyes and I'll be your legs. So I was like, look at Lewis trying to give a speech of encouragement
Yeah,
after he
Lewis,
put y'all
Lewis,
through this situation.
Lewis was on his Martin Luther King, man. He was Martin Luther King at that moment with no eyes. He was blind. You know what I'm saying? He was Stevie Luther King, and he
Okay.
was just really giving his encouragement. I was like, okay, man, we'll see
Yes.
how far it goes.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that was pretty much, for that moment, I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully when your boy Obadiah come back in there and he ring that bell, it doesn't, turn you back to being on the side of Obadiah. So
Right.
Okay, Pablo. But then
Right.
this was the moment, this is the after the morning after, and your highest decides that he wants Ruth to meet him at the altar in her white dress, Jay. What did you think of
Meet
this
me
whole
at the
revelation?
altar with your white dress.
Okay.
Let's get married. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. He
He ain't even
told
he
her
ain't even
that,
proposed though. He ain't even proposed. He was like, I had a vision and we're gonna get married. That's it. You're gonna get married to me. There was no like, would you marry me? It was like, no, we're getting married. Okay.
yeah, but I think in my mind, for his form of romance was saying that a woman needs security, a man needs companionship, and he gave her he gave her a couple of little bars that we've never really heard the Heights talk about, because it's always been about him. It's never really been us. You know what I mean? So he gave her, he spoke a little life. The baby, what does a woman need? A woman needs security. The baby needs a daddy.
I'm a shout out to the writers. Shout out to the writers for giving the highest some smooth bars, that made
Okay.
sense. You know what I mean? Because from what we know of him of the past 5 seasons, he has not been as smooth as those 2 bars right there. So thank you, writers.
Not at all, not at all, y'all. And we're gonna get to y'all comments, I can assure y'all, but we're trying to get through literally three episodes. So y'all
Yeah,
please bear with us, but we're definitely gonna get to your
appreciate y'all.
comments. Yeah, and
Appreciate
we
y'all for real.
appreciate you guys for pulling up for sure.
Yeah.
And so yes, yes bars, baby. We see the highest, and he makes this whole speech. I told you guys a while ago that I was going to take a wife, and Ruth was going to be my wife. Well, today is going to be the wedding. Get your clothes ready, y'all. We about to get married. Shotgun.
And they got the same old purple rose. They don't got no wedding gear.
Right. Listen. None whatsoever, Jay. None
Yeah,
whatsoever. Ruth is up there, and she's just straight hurting, like,
I
bruh, can you
know,
hurry up?
twitching and
Can you
all of
hurry
that.
up?
Yeah, twitching and everything, man. I was like, dang,
Yes, yes, yes. This
this
is
dude.
them cramps is a different type of cramp, boy. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Highlighted moment in the punishment trailer with your boy George and Lewis. Please, sir, do you have a listen? I keep saying this. He was getting hit for Oliver Twist. I was like, okay, George, I see you. I see where you coming with it. Can you spare a
That's
piece of bread for two lonely
can you
souls?
spit? Right. Oliver Twist. Can you please give us a little something to drink, please, sir? Please help us. We are beggars. I'm begging you. I was like, wow. It was funny as hell.
Okay. Okay, but the main reason Eli went to that punishment trailer was because Rivercon told him, listen, if you disobey me one more time, you're going to end up in a punishment trailer. You want to find out what
Uh-huh.
happens when you go to the punishment trailer and what happens when you disobey me? I got two in the
Yeah.
punishment trailer right now that I'm pretty sure will tell you how it goes down. And so he makes his way to the
Man.
punishment trailer. George lets him know, hey, they cut my ish off. He said, look, and I'm like, did he really have to just look? He pulls Jordan's
I
underwear
know.
down or apart, and he
I
has to
know.
see.
Man, he was like, they cut my balls off. Look. Take a look. They cut it off. And he looked. I was like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, boy? I'll be looking at the next man
Okay,
balls. Like, get up out of here, man. Believe him when he said he did. Just believe him and just walk out, bro. What the hell?
exactly. And the other hilarious part was when George had to pee. He had to play the role. I got to pee.
Yeah. He was like, it burns, like he
Oh
was
my
dying.
god!
He's like, I
Shout
gotta
out
go.
to shout out to Pierre Johnson, man. He did his thing on
Yeah,
this one. I ain't gonna even
he
lie.
did. He did. Shout out to Pierre. Salute.
Yeah, they brought that person.
But
Listen,
he asked him, hold on, before we get to the next one, he
go
said, how
ahead.
did I do? He said, how did I do? He's like, oh, you did better than I thought. Lewis was like, you did better than I thought. He's like, yeah, I took acting classes in high school. I was like, you guys are funny as hell, boy. That was a funny
Hey, I
part.
loved it though. Backstory, we
Yeah,
got a little backstory before he decided to do
yeah,
whatever he did and make his way to the Rakadushi compound. We find out that George was in high school taking acting classes.
yeah. It's working, buddy.
Okay. So
Uh,
this is the moment. And listen, I'm gonna keep saying this. I don't trust Joan. I don't trust Joan. I don't trust Joan.
nah,
But at this moment, Elder Mother walks up as all right, Ruth, we got to get ready for the nuptials. I was like, she
yeah,
is so
nuptials.
excited.
Oh yeah, yeah. We gotta get ready for the nuptials. She gonna
And
give her
that
an
and
old
this
ass
same
dress. Old ass.
oh, we gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
And
Let's get to that old
this
ass dress.
Joan was like, Joan was saying, we can't access the money. Only the wife of the highest can access the money. And I'm like, girl,
Right.
what you doing? What you doing? So, and then of course Zane tells Joan, which is the last person she needed to be talking to, saying that I think she's, losing the baby. She's been bleeding. I'm like, oh my God, you telling Joan, you telling the wrong person.
Cause she gonna freak out. Joan always freaking out. Oh my god. It's like, relax, Joan. Just relax.
Right. But low key, high
Sit your
key, I
ass down.
think Joan has something to do with that. And we're gonna get to why I think so. But
Mm,
yeah.
really?
But
Okay.
next up,
Mm.
next up, we see Obadiah. He's telling River, look, I don't care how you do it. Go it, go suck his blank, do what you gotta do
Woo!
to get my children back to me. He said, I didn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with it in the first place. So how am I supposed to fix it? Oh, get on them knees, drop down, and get
But
your eagle on.
you better figure it out. Figure it out. Go do what you need to do. He was using the
Obadiah.
N word too. One of my
Right.
one of my followers was like, "I'm not watching this. There's too many N words in here." I was like, "It was a couple. It was a couple. All right, that was Obadiah being ghetto. But yeah, he was like, Negro, figure it out."
That part. That part. Listen,
Yeah.
it's ruthless. Anything goes down on ruthless. Language,
Hmm.
sexual connotations, everything. It goes down on ruthless. So, it ain't for everybody, and it's definitely not for the weak at heart. You know what I
I think
mean?
they still
So,
gonna
for
watch
the
it.
faint at
I
heart,
think
you
they
just
still gonna
gotta
watch it.
roll with it because
I
I'm
think they
definitely gonna
still.
keep watching.
I think they still gonna watch. They was just appalled at the time. That's all. I'm appalled.
Oh,
Okay, but what happens next? What's gonna happen next? Yeah, you gonna keep watching.
right. Right. Definitely. That part. That part for sure. We see the highest. He has on his white suit. He got his sash. He's shiny. He's blingy, and we see our girl Ruth with the 1923 wedding gown on. I swear that's Elder Mother Marvin's wedding gown.
It is. It is. The neck is too big. Like it is not tailored at all. And she got those. People have been getting on the long ass white shoes as we get to it. People have been getting on them shoes. It's like those are not her shoes. She got a long foot. Yep. So she fell out. Everybody's concerned. It's like, what's going on? What happened? And we see the blood of the lamb. The demon seed is bleeding onto the pavilion with those white
And that white
shoes that is
shoes.
not hers. That's not even her size. It's probably not even her size, yo. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, that's Elder Mother's foot.
Oh, I
So,
absolutely agree. I
yeah,
absolutely agree. That whole outfit belongs to Elder Mother.
Elder Mother. That's it. It was temporary. It was only for like a couple minutes. Like, all right, take it off. But there's blood coming from the demon, from the womb. Oh my
Yep.
God, what is going on? That is not good.
And of course, Obadiah, we're gonna get to that, but he don't make it no better.
No.
And the highest was like, is that blood? And that was the end of the episode.
Yeah. All right, on to the next. On to the next.
On to the next, y'all.
On to
On
the
to the
next,
next.
y'all.
The drummer kings in the background, messing around. We
Yeah,
all messed around and found out. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Episode 13. I hope I got this in the right order. Yeah, baby, them shoes.
them
I don't know.
shoes.
I don't know what.
What are those? What are those?
Literally, literally. Did
What
I do this
are
backwards?
those? Looks like it. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
beginning. That looks like the beginning of what you had. Maybe
Well,
it's another
damn.
set.
It should have been. But okay, here we go. So at the
Yeah,
wedding, let me go. Let me see. We'll go back.
let's see.
Unless I double loaded something.
Double up.
Yeah, I
Double up.
doubled up. Listen, just bear with me,
It's
y'all.
okay.
We gonna talk
It's
about it. We don't
okay.
have to
I
edit
remember what
this.
happened, so I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk while you
Yeah,
get it, while you
lead it
getting
out,
that
Jay.
together. So you know what happens. Of course, you guys remember, right? She's bleeding. Obadiah's coming over, like, oh, you know, the whore was not able to hold the god, the son, right? The god's son, right? And she's like, you know, the highest is like, is this true? Is this true? Did you have a miscarriage? She's like, no, 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 I didn't. No, I didn't. You know, and he's like, yeah, you know, Obadiah is really pressing and saying that she lost the baby. And here comes River with his 2 cents talking about, yeah, you know, she had to have lost a baby. What else could it be? So they really attacking Ruth at this time, man. They really want her to not have the baby because having this baby gives her so much power and so much influence over the highest that they don't have, right? Because you know they don't have a womb. They can't have a baby. You know, so Ruth is a major threat to Obadiah and River, and they are really, really pressing like she lost it. She lost it, but she's trying to convince the highest. And then here comes he's asking Elder Mother. He's like, Elder Mother Supreme, what do you think? She's like, me don't know. Me can't say, but let's go on with the festivities. You know, people came together to make this day such a big day. Let's take care of this afterwards. And River's like, no, I got a suggestion. How about we do another sonogram? And it's like, see River. It's like, yeah, let's do it after. It's like, no, let's do it now. So the highest wants them to do a sonogram right now. And River's like, yeah, you got to go right now. You know, Ruth wants to change. She wants to change. She's like, no, we need to do it fresh. We need to do it right now. River is pushing her to get that sonogram done. And of course, Elda Maramava is like, oh my God, she's hugging her and trying to comfort her. I'm like, man, she's really acting like the mother, the grandmother. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Uh,
right.
so, so what do you think about all of that, Tika?
Yeah, that was crazy for him to say that the horror of basically that a horror can't carry a baby. I was like, oh, Obadiah, you disgusting. How dare you? You know, trying
Right?
to throw salt on what Ruth had going on.
Yeah,
And it's apparent. And then of course with River chiming in, it's like two seeds putting in a bad, basically putting a bad word. And now the highest is doubting Ruth. He's like, Ruth, are you lying? Like and she's like, no, your highest this whole time. She's like, no, I'm still pregnant. I
yeah,
feel the heartbeat every time. Like, I'm still pregnant. Like, don't do this, your highest. Like, these the stakes,
yeah.
but this is what they were doing, trying to cast doubt on Ruth's situation.
Those two snakes. That's what it was. The two snakes going at it, trying to convince the highest, and he was falling for it. It was like, I mean, look, if you think about it, you a guy, you don't know what's going on. You're supposed to be having a baby, and blood comes out of the bottom of your dress. It's kind of leaning that way, right? But if she's saying no, she knows. Just like
Right.
whoever said it, she knows her body. She knows her body. So yeah,
Yeah, and then since River want to be so big and bold, let's do an ultrasound. Okay, you
yeah,
asked for it. You
yeah.
asked
Let's
for it.
do it.
So Elder Mother and Ruth, they make their way over to the infirmary, and
The
Ruth was
infirmary.
ready to
Yep.
take Elder Mother out just in case that baby
You got
wasn't in
that
there
little
no more.
knife.
She grabbed the nail file. She was ready to poke
Yeah.
Elder Mother.
She's like, I gotta fight my way out of this one, man. I gotta stab. Imagine that. Imagine her not having like, oh, there's no baby. And then Ruth just jabs in the neck and then pushes Manny down and then runs out of there in her little white dress. Like, imagine that'd be crazy.
That would have been crazy. By any means necessary. By any means necessary.
Right.
And of course, she was telling Manny, "Hey, help me, Ruth. Ruth, I can't help you with this one. I can get you out of a lot of stuff, but this is not that." So finally, Elder Mother kicks Manny out the room or asks him to leave the room, and he's, she's outside, and thankfully, y'all, we got a heartbeat, so the baby survives. The baby lives to fight another day.
Man, I was happy about that.
On the outside.
Everybody was like, yeah. I was happy about that, and I know Joan was happy about that as well, because Joan was like, "Yo, if you lose the baby, like, it's a wrap for all of us," So, yeah. I'm glad she had still has the baby.
I think that whole situation with Joan was fake as I don't know what. I'm just saying, she was fake. I think Joan was fake. I'm gonna get to why I think that.
Okay.
Because keep in mind, okay, so right outside the trailer or the infirmary, we find out that Obadiah basically had something to do with this whole situation that Ruth was going on. What was going on? What was attempted to basically abort her pregnancy. And the only thing Ruth had was that we saw her had was some tea from who? Your girl Joan.
Yeah, because when she went to go see her, when she went to go see her, she was laying down, right? And she's like, "What you want?" She's like, "Oh, I need some painkillers." It's like, "Oh, here, Mother must have left you some painkillers. Here's something to drink." Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
That though.
Before that?
Not the painkiller scene, before that. Because initially it was just nausea. After Joan came in there, because it was talking about the money and the transfer and accessing the account and all of that stuff. And Ruth was like, "Listen, we will have to figure that out another day." But then all of a sudden, because Elder Mother was the one who was supposed to go and bring her some tea, but Joan came in with the tea as well as 2 bowls of whatever was in those bowls and gave it to Ruth. And then the way Joan was looking at Obadiah at that wedding, she looking suspect.
Interesting.
I could be way off, but I'm feeling like Joan is. I'm feeling like she's on the bad side right now.
Dang. But what would be the benefit of her losing that baby though for Joan? Like, what would be that benefit? Was that a distraction?
Ruth can be eliminated. A distraction, but Ruth will be eliminated from the whole process. Ruth won't get the money. The fault will go onto Ruth if something happens and the FBI comes in and take over. Joan won't be responsible anymore. It'll be Ruth who was stealing the money. The cartel, she could point them out. Hey, this is the one that was stealing your money.
So they would blame it on her and then unalive Ruth and be like, okay, well, she's the one that stole your money. We unalived her. We took care of her. Can't get to the money.
Right.
Yeah, I got it. It's a whole distraction.
That's my thought process now anyway.
Hey, we shall see. We shall see. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good. So what happened next?
So
what do you remember?
Don't start me to lie. Okay, wait, let me get there. Okay, so Elder Mother goes to the highest and says, "Your highest, the baby lives." Almost like it's Jesus. He lives. And that was the name of the episode. The baby lives. She goes and tells the highest. And also, one other thing, this is when we find out, River tells Obadiah, "You're an a-hole," but then he says, "So does that mean you had something to do with the unalivement of Daikon?" He neither confirms nor denies the fact that he may or may not have had something to do with taking out Daikon.
Right.
So we're still on the clue mission of who unalived Daikon. That's still
I say that.
That's storyline.
I say Obadiah did it. He just won't admit to it. That's it. You know, at this point, it's like, who else would have done it? I think Obadiah just won't admit to River or anybody what he did or what he does. That's just how killers do, man. They would never take
Yeah,
accountability for anything. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I don't trust it. I
Especially,
think I
espe- not sorry to interrupt you. Especially
no,
if
you good.
he don't want to tell River, because if he says, "Yeah, I unalive Anthony Daikon," then River could always use that against Obadiah, take it to the highest, because the highest wants to know who took out Daikon Anthony. And you know how the
Right.
highest feels about Daikon. And so River could use it against Obadiah. That's why Obadiah's like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Man, I don't know. Who did, who knows? I mean, maybe it was the donkey, maybe it was the pig. Who knows? You know, so he would never admit to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So what, like I said, she goes to the highest, she lets the highest know that hey, your baby's still here. And at the same time, Elder Mother Marva or Elder Mother Supreme is in the room. The birth mother is in the room as well. So the highest is looking at two people, one that is there, one that's not there. And Elder Shady, birth mother is shady even in her death. She says, so this is what you traded me for?
Oh yeah. You hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, Pearl comes back and she's looking up and down. It's like, really? You trying to replace me? You know, she's like, oh, she's a feisty one. She's a feisty one. But Elder Mother notices that he's like talking to somebody else. He's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. I told you to leave. You you better leave now. I'm gonna, see you to the punishment trailer, right? Right." So, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. And she walks out and she said, oh, this is not good. You
This is
started
not
it, Elder
good.
Brother. This is your fault. You started this.
That was good, Tika. That was good. That was good.
I tried. I've
Yeah.
been listening to the VACAY-J school of imitating Elder Mother Marva
Personating the elder by the ruthless.
impersonation class.
He kept the child. This is not dude. The highest is cracking up.
You okay?
Me don't know.
Yeah.
Me don't know what the boy doing. He talking to me. Then talk to somebody else. Me don't know, the boy crazy, Me gotta find a saffron, do extra saffron, double saffron, triple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, so then this is another moment. I'm kind of I can think I'm able to fast forward a little bit because we do see where Elder Mother goes and talks to Ruth and she tells Ruth, hey, there's this specific leaf outside of the compound that we can
Hmm.
actually get to use for the highest. It won't, completely fix him, but it'll kind of, basically calm him down enough to where he is manageable. And
Yeah.
then she goes to Obadiah. Of course, they agree upon that. Elder Mother goes to Obadiah and says that, hey, we got this leaf. The highest told me I need to get this leaf to help Ruth with her pregnancy. So at this point, Elder Mother Marvel is like Team Ruth because she literally just straight lied to that man's face. Like that
Yeah.
medicine was not for Ruth. And Elder
Right.
Mother knows that Obadiah ain't ish. So she's not gonna just say, hey, this is for Ruth. She's gonna, use it for the highest or whatever. She's trying to use it to her advantage because she knows that Obadiah is, he's opposing the highest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who else would take the medicine, right? And yeah, she basically tricked him because he was like, nah. At first, when she asked him, he was like, nah, nobody can get off the compound. But then she tricked him and said, yeah, this would put, someone in good graces if they allowed this to happen, to go off the campus and, go get the flower, we'll put them in good graces with the highest. He's like, really, huh? Really? Really? Okay,
Exactly.
okay. And then he gets homeboy. Oh my God, he is the worst soldier in the world. One of the worst. Because most of the soldiers on there are terrible. But yeah, so they get that guy and they gotta say, whatever you did in the past, I forgive you. We'll all be forgiven. What did he do in the past? That's the question. What did the soldier do? Did he get caught? screwing on the side of the house like he did? I mean, did he get caught by Obadiah? Because Obadiah said all your mistakes in the past will be forgiven if you find his power to bring it back. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe Obadiah could see, around corners while he's getting busy with the girls. Who knows? So, so he sends them off, and it's like, is this gonna work? Is that gonna work? And you know, I was trying to see if Obadiah was really gonna get with Elder Mother Supreme, but it don't look like it's gonna go down that road. I don't think so.
Get with her?
Yeah, like be another one.
I hope the hell not.
I'm telling you, man. She was trying. She was trying. You want the Elder Supreme juices? Me give you the juices. It's better than everything in the world.
Well, once she found out that Obadiah is opposing the highest, that
Yeah.
that turned her off. She don't want to be in the seated line for from Obadiah. She's
Right.
turned off by Obadiah at this point.
Yeah, that was in the punishment trailer when he was asking whose side you on or whatever. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So we see old boy
Mm-hmm.
get popped. He gets popped.
Terrible.
And this is my thing with the FBI. Like, y'all could have watched him to see where he was going, grabbed him, snatched him up, but y'all proceed to just, fire at him. Like Cal was the first one to pop off. So Cal's giving me police brutality at
Well,
its
hold
finest.
on, hold on. What I remember was stupid soldier saw them, was running away, and then they was chasing after him. He ran around a corner, and instead of going back into the campus because they caught him, he turned around and shot Cal first and said, "For the Raku." Remember? He shot him
Right. That's
first.
true. That's
So
true.
Cal was like, "Yo, he nipped me. Let's buck him up." Like, and they just lit him up. They
Lit
just
him
lit
up.
him up. So he was stupid to even shoot at Cal and the FBI. He should have just ran back into campus, because he wasn't even supposed to be out there in the first place.
Right.
So
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
he bucked at him first. Cal had to retaliate.
And he did. He definitely
Yeah,
did. He definitely did.
yeah, yeah.
So that would take us to episode 14. Also at the end of that, I think that's when we saw where the highest basically has been infiltrated. So now here go all the freaking slides, but I'm gonna slide through this real quick.
The highest has been. Oh, you got the okay. You found the slides that we was just talking about. Okay.
Yeah, the wrong freaking slides though.
Okay, got you. So you said the highest was infiltrated.
Right?
Was
He
that
was
that's when Andrew? Are you telling me was the end when he was on the wall and he was shaking and he was like, "No, stay away from me, John, stay away from me," and he was freaking out? Was that the
uh,
end of that one, or was that the one before?
that was the one. That was the one before. That was
Okay,
That's when Andrew realized and was able to call the FBI and be like, "Hey, your boy
right,
tripping. Like,
right.
y'all need to come do something about this,
Oh,
or
dang, you
let me
got you
go
got
ahead and
14
go in
right
there and
here.
pop them."
You got 14 right here. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
end
yeah.
of 14.
Exactly.
Okay,
Like, I don't know what happened, but we here at 14.
okay, we in
So that
14.
was
That's what we got.
okay. And y'all
Okay.
listen, y'all gotta understand it's hard to recap three whole episodes.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man, Andrew's back. He's on a mission. He's with Lilo and Glitch and Glitch, right? So let's talk about 14, right? Because that's the last one, right?
Right.
So 14 is when Glitch is getting impatient. Heat is now trying to calm Glitch down. Glitch is looking under bus tires for Lilo, and Heat is trying to calm him down. Like, yo, man, just face the fact. Your brother's gone, man. They took him out, and he's like, nah, I don't believe that. And Heat and Glitch get into an argument. Heat tries to walk away. Glitch is like, yo, I'm still in charge, and he snatches him up, and Glitch turns into the choker, right? So he choked him out and took out Heat, and he put
Right.
Heat in the ice box. So now Heat is on ice, okay?
Yes.
And he's in the box, all right? And then they find him, and the highest notices that he has the Cartel tattoos. Like, yo, this is Cartel. They like, where's Glitch? And they trying to find Glitch, and they can't find him the entire episode. All right, and they're looking
Right.
for Glitch, Um, what else comes to mind? What else comes to mind in this episode? 14. It's the last one.
Yep. Last one. Let's take it home. Okay. So looking for Glitch. Now I don't understand how, being the soldier, out of all corners he would turn, he just decides to go straight to the cooler. I'm like, what gave you
Right.
the sign to even go down that road? Like, really? Like, really? This what y'all
Yeah.
doing?
I mean, he's doing his rounds, right? So is that area and the bus and the cooler part of his rounds? You know, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's checking out the the area where he's designated to make sure everything is secure. So I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it was very convenient that the freezer was there and he just so happened to look into it, right? That was the
I
funny
guess.
part.
I'm gonna suspend
That was
reality
funny.
on that one. The cooler that, again, everybody likes to talk about how is the cooler plugged up.
Right, right.
I was on this time, and then they had the audacity to put some around the corners of the cooler, and then they had
Yeah,
cold air coming out of it. So I was like, okay, I see what y'all trying to do.
yeah.
I get
There's
it.
probably some dry ice. Probably some dry ice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So of course, and then we see the highest. The highest has made his way. I guess Ben went ahead and told the highest, look, I see we got somebody in this cooler. I need you to come check it out, because I don't recall being told to put anybody in there. That's just my version of what he said, to get the highest and everybody to come over there. But the highest goes in there. He's like, oh, I recognize that tattoo. And now the highest knows the Cartel are on the compound.
Mm-hmm.
And so once they realize the Cartel's on the compound, that's when they say, oh, we got to find Glitch. That's when Andrew says, we got to find Glitch. And so, like you said, Jay, they're on this, now they're trying to find Glitch. Where's Glitch? Where's Glitch? Let's see, after the cooler, the Glitch, looking for Glitch. And the biggest part, the main part was, why was Peter? Because Ruth had to go in. She went in and she talked to the highest. And yes, the baby. We still got the baby. Hold on one second, Jay. Talk
Yeah,
about
it was a long
Ruth going.
conversation. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. It was a long conversation with the highest and Ruth, and she basically was saying how, Obadiah and River were really trying to, undermine her, and that he would have believed them, if she didn't say anything else. You know what I'm saying? She really was questioning why he was believing them over her. And she didn't like that. And she's like, listen, if they didn't say anything, would you have believed me? If they didn't say anything, he said, of course I would. Of course I would. So they had a really long conversation. He wants to have the baby. He felt like, he was helpless, like he couldn't do anything, like he felt like a helpless person, and she gave him a big kiss. And he was like, what's that for? He's like, yeah, you just experienced being a parent, because parents are in situations like that where they want to help their child and there's nothing they can do about it sometimes, you know. So it was a lot of dialogue on that, and yeah. And then the action turned up towards the end,
right,
which
definitely.
was, yeah, I guess we can get to that, man, and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, for sure. But I do want to say how the birth mother also was saying that the baby shouldn't be in existence, because what kind of father are you going to actually
Right.
be? You can't take the baby to the theme park. you can't take the baby
Baseball
to
game.
Little League. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do that's gonna be normal for this child. Why would you want to bring a child into darkness anyway? And
Yeah.
Hyas is just like, that's my family though, no matter what. That's my family.
hmm
So yeah, that part.
Shout out to Christine Pearl, the birth
Absolutely.
mother. Absolutely. Making some great points though. Making great points of, yeah, you're bringing the baby into this darkness that you have created. You've created
Right.
this darkness, and here you go. You want to have a family. You're bugging out. So
Yep.
yeah,
And
yeah.
somebody was saying that they thought that the things that the birth mother was saying to the highest was the things that the highest was thinking himself. So it's like his conscience was
Oh
talking
yeah,
to him.
it is. It is. It's definitely his subconscious talking to him and giving him the reality side. Like that's the realistic side of things.
Right.
His whole existence is a whole delusion in his head. Like he
Right.
created the highest. He is, this person. He is, to the world, he's the highest. What we call him the lowest. But the real person we know now is
Right.
Tyrone, right? Tyrone Luckett. And his mother is his subconscious mind. So you're definitely making a great point. There's the big
Yep.
kiss. Mwah. It's like, what's that for? You now experience being a parent. Yep. There it is.
And the
So there's a
fact
lot of
that
talk.
Ruth also, the highest not only when and we're gonna wrap it up for sure, Jay, but the highest
Yeah.
not only was concerned about the baby, but he was actually concerned about Ruth as well. Because he's
Yeah.
like, is Ruth okay? And so,
Yeah.
it's like it's like almost like a human side that or a father instinct for him to actually care for somebody else other than himself, other than his title,
Yeah.
other than this whole Raku situation.
This is the first time we're seeing this side of him. But it also is explained through the conversation he's having with the birth mother and Obadiah. You remember that whole scene with the birth mother, Obadiah, that whole conversation, rain, rain, go away, come back another day, right? So
Right,
he's always wanted to have a family, but he was raised in a very dysfunctional situation. So on another end, he's trying to have a functional family in this environment that he created, even though it's twisted, but it's his twist, right? It's his
right,
twisted world
right,
that he has created, but he's in control of it as he thinks he's in control of it, right? So because he has created it, he's in control of it. Possibly he can have a wife and a child, possibly in his mind. But he's
right.
still off of his psychotic megs. So he's all over the place. He's all over the place, you know?
Definitely, definitely. So while the highest and Ruth are having this whole moment, and busting your boy glitch. But my thing was, where the heck did Peter go? Like, bruh, you
Right.
were supposed to be at the door because initially the Ruth said that, oh, this is why Peter, I had to get, basically Peter had to get permission for me to, come into the trailer. So where the heck did Peter go?
Right. That's a good question. Maybe we'll find out in the next episode. Maybe we'll see get a different angle as to how Glitch was able to just bust right in. Maybe he took out Peter. Maybe he knocked him out. Maybe he hit him with the strap and knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's by the time we get to the next episode and leave the trailer, Peter may be laid out on the side of the trailer. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find out what happened with that. And if he wasn't, where was he? You know?
Listen, maybe Peter walked away because I'm again, here go another. I wish I could bring up my chart, but I think that this is another one of Obadiah's allies. Peter might be on the side of Obadiah.
Oh, you
The
got a
highest
chart
said
now,
we
huh?
got
Okay.
yeah, Peter, the high Obadiah said we got to get the Peter, we got to get we got to get the cartel in front of the highest. He told that to River. So I'm
Right.
thinking, just a speculation, that Peter
Yeah.
literally walked away. I could be way off, but he walked away, and then we see where Glitch makes his way into the trailer of the highest, and he pulls the blicky. Where's my brother? Where's my brother? Where's my brother? Sounding like Kimmy. Where's my sister?
Sound like
And
him
Bear
anyway.
is where's my daughter?
Yep, that's right. That's right. Yeah, maybe, again, another thing that I'm thinking is maybe he rolls up behind Peter with the gun to his head and said, "Walk away now, or I'm gonna blast you." And it's like Peter got that big old gun. He could easily just do what he needed to do. But if Glitch had to drop on him, like from behind, had the strap at his head from behind, yeah, he need to get up out of there if he wants to save it. Knowing Peter, Peter always wants to save his own life. Okay, he can
Right.
care less. You know what I'm saying? He'll say whatever, do whatever just to save his own life. Or he may have just knocked him out. We'll see. We'll see. But your man
We'll
comes
see.
through. Andrew, the hero, comes through, grabs the arm. All right, grabs his arm. They get into a fight. This is WW Raku right now, and he's on the rim. He's they're throwing back and forth, and then the strap disappears, and all of a sudden, all we hear is pow. And I don't know who got popped. Who got popped, Tika? It was your boy Glitch. Womp, 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 womp.
Yep.
Two cartels out in one episode. Shout out to Asokwe Vasquez for writing this one right here. Our guy, Ruthless Roundtable member. Shout out to him. And of course, Amani Ortiz for directing. But yeah, your boy is out. Done. No more cartel. It's a wrap.
For now.
For now. For now. But all of that to not find Lilo and to get popped and you took out your own boy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So
Yep. I'll just say this because we had a discussion about this in the Facebook group. Why was the cartel even there, or why did they were useless? I say they sent the wrong two cartel members, but of course they're gonna
yeah,
send somebody that's looking for their brother, and then they're gonna get a cartel member that's ride or die about the cartel. They want the money. And
I
probably the
agree.
cartel was on their neck because the money is starting to disappear. They're able to see that some of their money is coming in short. So people they asked, why bring the cartel? Why bring them? Well, it kind of closes the story as to people were saying nobody cares for Lilo, so who's gonna go look for Lilo? Okay, now you got
Right.
somebody that cared for Lilo. It was his brother. Whether he was successful at what he was supposed to be doing or not, we do know that Lilo has somebody on the outside that cared enough to come and look for him. We finally get the connection that the cartel knows that their money is coming up short.
Yeah.
Their blickies are still on that compound. So we
Mm-hmm.
got to kind of close the Lilo situation as well as introduce to the cartel situation. I don't think that this is the end of the cartel. I really don't. I
No.
think there's some more that are on the way because that's a whole lot of money to come up missing. For them to send 2 out of 3 or 3 reckless, one gets popped in jail, and then the other one unalives his partner, and then he gets popped. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think this was the okay, let's wrap up the whole Lilo story. Lilo's name.
right,
Shout out to Lilo and the actor that plays Lilo. He made such a big impact and he was such a key player that the ghost of Lilo has been lingering in season 5. We heard his name multiple times. I gotta count. Everybody watch it again. Count how many times Lilo's name was mentioned. But you're right. You're right. Glitch definitely had the motivation and the motive to go in there and do whatever it took to find Lilo, to find the money, to find whatever, because of the whole blood relation thing.
right.
So Heat was just a crazy dude. And they were pretty sloppy. They were really pretty sloppy as a 3-person group because we can't forget keys that got locked up, right? And got unalived, right?
Right.
So, at the end of the day, I agree with you. This is not the end of the cartel. They may send a whole squad now to the Rocco campus, like some real G's, not some little kids. Like, to me, these guys are like little kids. Like, you sending kids up in there. You sending like the underbosses of the underbosses in to handle this.
Right. Right. Yep. Yep. But that was the end of the episode. We do hear the highest say to Glitch that your brother is unalive. One of the soldiers unalived him after Ruth was so quick to offer up the money. But then again, the highest, like he kind of saved her life because Glitch was ready to pop off on Ruth. So, I'm like, okay, highest say that woman. I see you.
I
But
like what
Jay,
she said though. I like what she
go
said
ahead, go
though,
ahead, go ahead.
because Glitch was like, why did he get popped? And Ruth said, because he deserved it. I was like, you right, Ruth. He did deserve that after what he did to Lacey and all the girls, and even Zane, and even that girl that Glitch choked out. Like,
Right.
Lilo was a terrible, very terrible person. He was the worst.
Yes.
He was the
Yes.
worst. And his brother wasn't too far off. You know what I'm saying? He was a nice guy at all. Like, for you to take out your own boy in the whole process, like, bro, what are you doing? Because he didn't want to listen to you. He wanted to walk away. He was trying to walk away, and you choked him out, and then you put him in the ice box. Like,
Right.
now you all alone. That you are not smart. I said that too. I said, Glitch is kind of slow. He's kind of slow. Out of everybody, he's really like they're kind of slow. So, who we gonna see next? Who we gonna see next? When is the cartel coming? Probably next season. We gotta wrap up this one. There may
Right.
be what, two more episodes, right? Two maybe.
Yeah, I
We're
think about two
14,
because they said it's what 16
16.
episodes. So we're
Yeah,
looking at two more. Two more.
two more episodes, and tonight for me, tomorrow for you guys on the East Coast. We got another episode coming. 15 is on the way. Are
Yep.
you excited, Tika?
I'm absolutely excited, especially after what has transpired. Where we see Glitch done got popped, has gotten himself popped. And we see Andrew is working with Desiree, he's doing that part, but River about to lose his job because you supposed to be responsible for the soldiers. You're supposed to be
Yeah,
guarding me. Like, this is your responsibility as Daikon to make sure that nothing and no one will be able to get to mess around with the highest. And so
yeah.
unfortunately, River is losing. He's slowly but surely losing his job. And prediction, I think this is the moment where we're about to see take a battle between
Andrew and
Andrew
River.
and
Andrew
River.
and River.
Yep,
I knew you was going there
yep,
because I was going there too. We was thinking
yep.
the same thing. This is gonna be the battle of Andrew and River, and we gonna see who gonna win. We don't want to spoil it for you guys because we kind of know some things, but again, this is gonna be a battle. That's all we can say. And yeah, we're gonna see what happens, man. I hope the battle is this coming episode. It should be, right?
Right.
This is the aftermath. And
Yep.
Andrew just saved the highest and Ruth. So yeah, of
Right.
course, like he's probably gonna try to tell River to take off the jacket and give it to Andrew and go
Right.
put on a purple robe. And he's like, no, I wanna fight for it. I'll fight for it. We'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to tonight's episode, tomorrow's episode. It's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be crazy. But good job,
Absolutely.
T, on
Whew,
putting this whole thing together and wrapping this thing up. I'm still in
whew.
my mobile studio. But yeah, we're gonna keep this thing going, man. You already know.
Absolutely. It's all good. It's all good. We had to revisit the roundtable for sure. So
And
as
we had to
always,
catch
Jay,
up.
yeah, we had to catch up because the struggle was real. When you told me 12, 13, and 14, I was like, oh
I was
my
like,
God,
yo, we got
I gotta remember.
we got to catch up on these things. So it's all good. It's all good. So Family, you
Made
already
it.
know, man. You already know. Look out for our recaps. You already know how it's going down. We got the Ruthless, Tyler Perry Ruthless recaps coming still, regardless. So we appreciate your love and support and for watching and liking and sharing also, Yeah, it's gonna be fire. Tomorrow I think it's gonna be even more fire. Yeah, it's
Right,
gonna be crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward
right,
to it.
right.
Yes, man.
I'm not looking forward to it ending. Just like Bebe said, we need more than 16 episodes. Absolutely, I
Yeah,
totally
I
agree.
agree. I agree.
But I just know and understand that the best thing on BET Plus must come to an end. So even if it's season by season, but it's all good. They were thoughtful enough to bring us what we got. Y'all stay locked in too, Ruthless, because there's definitely going to be a season 6. So that may or may not be the final season. We just gonna have to keep watching and see. But how much further can they go?
That's right.
Anyway, that's about it. Jay, what you got
All
coming up
right.
on your channel?
Hey man, we got that Ruthless recap. Look out for that tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow, whether it be in the morning or afternoon. You're definitely gonna get that from your boy. And then most likely we're gonna do a first reaction for Raising Canaan, episode 6. You'll see that by myself and Monique 69 Ways probably gonna do that. And of course, Tika, you're always invited to come if you're up. But I know you got a little one with you, so you know. But yeah, man, just look out for that, and of course, look out for some more lives coming through. Some exclusive pics. We're gonna break that down, what it looked like, and yeah, just keep it locked, man. Keep your notification bells on. Thank you, family, once again for blessing your boy and our channel VACAY-JTV for crossing over 18,000 subscribers. I love and appreciate y'all for real. As much love. We are on our way to 20, 25, 100, 2,000, whatever, to 10 million. You already know how we do, but I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you, Tika. Thank you, everybody. We're going to keep this thing going, fam. What about you? What's going on with you, Tika?
Well, definitely congratulations, Jay, on crossing over 18K. That's hard as hell. And you made
Thank you.
it so far, and you only go up from here. You only go up. You already know that.
Yes.
Y'all check out Jay's superhero, his action pack figure. I love that. I love that. I love that. Your girl got an action pack figure too.
You
At some
do.
point I'll put it on display. Shout out to VACAY-J for making me a action pack hero. I'm here for it. Um, and your girl just Ruthless. I'll do my Ruthless recap at some point tomorrow. Your girl will be on the road traveling. I gotta say a special shout out and a happy 80th birthday to my aunt. Listen, to turn 80 is
Hey.
a blessing. We're only promised 70 plus 7
Yes.
years. So to cross over to 80 years old is an
Yes.
amazing blessing. Shout out to my auntie. I love you. I love you. You have been more than just a aunt to me. You have been like a mother. You have been a prayer warrior for me. You have been all things, everything for me. I know you don't really understand this content that I give, but I promise you, I still have the love of God in my heart because my aunt is an evangelist. I promise you, I'm not following a cult. I promise you, I'm not in a cult. But I do, again, my auntie, y'all, she for real. And she be on this internet for real. She be in these internet streets. So anyway, salute and a happy birthday one final time to my aunt turning 80.
Happy
Again, Ruthless recap
birthday.
is going to be coming at some point, as well as I don't know about Ruthless conversation tomorrow. I have to get with EJ to see if we're going to still try to push out a Ruthless conversation. We may push it up to when I return back to my home. But that's pretty much it. Thank y'all so much for tapping in, tuning in, kicking it with us right here at All Things
Yeah.
Ruthless, as well as VACAY-JTV. Ruthless addicts, Ruthless fam. We love and appreciate y'all for all that y'all do. You contribute,
doubt.
you continually engage with us. You continually, leave comments, leave thought-evoking comments that we can respond to. And for that,
Yes.
you guys, I absolutely appreciate that. So real quick, I'll say I try my best to go down the line. Shout out to Nautical Moon. Thank you for sending that love to my auntie. Shout out to
Thank
Bebe.
you.
Shout out to Nikki A. Shout out to scrolling up. Shout out to Essence. Yates, shout
Yeah.
out to Bruns. Y'all are new to me. Thank y'all for tapping in. Shout out to
Salute.
Soul Robinson. Karima, what's good? Thank you for coming
up?
through. Absolutely appreciate you. Pete Brunson, as always, for coming through. Kamitra
Yep.
Moore, Cosmic Kai Kai, what's good? Pete Brunson.
Hey.
And Daria, of course. Can't forget about Daria.
Daria.
Shout
What's
out to
up?
Daria. It's been a while. Thank you for tapping
Yeah.
in. I absolutely appreciate you.
Yeah.
And that is the end of this whole situation, y'all. Again, we absolutely appreciate y'all, and we about to be out of this thing. Your girl got a video, quick little video that I normally play, so we about to be out here.
Appreciate